Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to study about synthesis and transformation. Synthesis means joining sentences. So there are two sentences here, and the subject in both the sentences is he. That is, the subject is same. So the first sentence is he is rich, and the other one is he is unhappy. Now it is assumed that a person who is rich is supposed to be happy. But here the person who is rich is unhappy. So it is showing a contrast. So we will join the sentences in three forms. That is, first we'll make a simple sentence, and then we'll make a compound, and finally we'll make a complex sentence. So in order to make the simple sentence, we will use a preposition. That is a prepositional phrase, that is in spite of. And after in spite of, we will change this is, that is the auxiliary form of verb, into being. Now when we write being here with in spite of, that is the prepositional phrase, this word being functions as a gerund, because a gerund always has a preposition before it. So in spite of being rich, comma, he is unhappy. So in the entire sentence there is only one verb, and that is. That is the auxiliary verb is. Because in being is not a verb here, it is functioning as a gerund, as there is a prepositional phrase before it. Now the same sentence will make it compound. Now in order to make a compound sentence, we need to find out a word which is a coordinating conjunction and which will show a contrast. Just as in spite of being rich is showing a contrast, in the same way there should be a word in the coordinating conjunction which will show a contrast. So we can use the word but, which shows a contrast. So he is rich but unhappy. Now instead of writing the entire sentence, that is he is rich but he is unhappy, we can just write the word unhappy, because we are talking about the same subject. So there is no need to repeat the subject as well as the verb again. It makes sense here because it has been joined by a coordinating conjunction. So both the parts, they are equivalent and they make sense. Now the same sentence will change it into complex. Now we need to find out a subordinating conjunction which will give us a complex sentence and which will show a contrast. So the words which show a contrast and our subordinating conjunctions are although and though. So this part, that is although he is rich, this is the subordinating clause, because the word although is making it subordinating. Subordinating means it is dependent on the second part. It is dependent on this part for its meaning, because this is the main clause. Subject is there, verb is there, and if we just focus on this part, it makes sense because this is the independent clause or main clause. But if we talk about this part, it does not make any sense because it is dependent on the other part for its meaning. So the word although, it is a subordinating conjunction, and it is also called the adverb of contrast or concession. This also shows an adverb of contrast or concession.